So I'm unmuted. Susan, you hear me well? Okay. We're just laughing because it's always, something around here. But I'm excited to start today. It's the beginning of a new month. We're just second day in. And one thing that for me, like I told them, I said, my topic, just title it, check your temperature. And I kind of think that's funny, like right now, right? Everywhere you go, you're getting your temperature checked. But this is not about COVID. This is what is your temperature in this business, right? For me, and I'll kind of just back up a little bit. When we started this, I was exhausted physically, mentally. The phrase "I was done" was pretty much my life phrase. I would come home from the salon after a 12-hour day, and I'm like, I'm done. Like, had 12 hours. You deal with the kids. Like, I can't handle this. I can't deal with this. And I would go shut myself up. And then on the days I didn't work at the salon, when Jason would come home, I was done, right? I was dealing with two boys that would fight and other things. And he would come like, I'm done. And I would go lock myself up. And there was a point where I got to where after hitting that wall physically, hitting that wall mentally, I was just broken. And a lot of you have probably heard my story where I say I was probably crying 5 of the 7 nights of the week in my closet, just praying for God to fix me because I didn't feel like the wife and the mom that I knew I was supposed to be. And I honestly thought that if I left, if I ran away, my family would be better off. Y'all, that's not a good place to be. And I kind of joke about I didn't have anywhere to run away to because we were broke. So it's not like I could leave my family because we couldn't afford it. But when I started thriving, I felt for the first time in so long something that I had thought died, like that part of me that was always this happy-go-lucky person, this I can do anything person. I felt so defeated for so long that I forgot who I used to be. I forgot that I was that person where somebody said, I bet you can't climb that roof. I'd be like, watch, hold my water. Here I go. Like that was just who I was. And when I started thriving within that first week and I felt that again, I felt accomplished. I was getting things done. Like I knew God answered my prayer of, Lord, please fix me. Now, I know a lot of people are like, no, I'm just relying on God to fix me and I'm going to the doctor and I'm doing this. I did all that. And so I know 100% this was my answered prayer. And so my passion for this product is still on fire because I know what it did for me. And so my thing on this is where were you when you started? And if you're on my team, you hear me say this a lot. But where were you when you started? How did you feel when you started? When Paul Gravett says, stop taking the product for 4 days, like he said that on a call one day and I looked at the phone, I was like, no, hell no. Like that was straight up. I just looked at that phone. No freaking way am I going to stop taking this. But for me, it's because I remember every single day where I came from. I remember how bad it was, how bad I felt. And I remember that day that I just was like, oh my gosh, Thrive gave me back. Thrive got me back to who I've always been. And so nothing has changed from day one for me in the sense of I didn't run after this on the business side. I did later. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I ran after this like, holy crap, we have found the holy grail of feeling better. We have found what truly works. And I think I was like, this is just something everybody needs. And I remember in the beginning when some of my friends were like, okay, Amber, whatever, that stuff's not going to work for me. I was like, oh my gosh, I said the same thing, but don't wait. And I wanted to just shake them. Don't wait like I did. Just take it. Trust me. Just get this product in your body. And guys, that's how I built my business. It wasn't a checklist. It wasn't, I didn't make a list. I did later because obviously the way I started was very unorganized. But I ran with what it was doing for me. I ran with this passion for my friends to not feel like crap anymore. because here's the thing. I wasn't telling people that I was crying in my closet every night. I wasn't telling people that I was trying to figure out how to run away from my family because I truly thought they would be better off without me. Like, I was not telling people that. When I'm running into people at church or at the store or all those places we can't go right now, when I was running into people and they're like, hey, how's it going? I was like, oh, it's great. How are you? Like, that was all, there's a smile on my face. And it just, it's just natural because I was told a long time ago, you don't tell people you're negative. Because I remember working for somebody, and this was years ago, and they're like, how are you today? I was like, I'm tired. He goes, why do you have to share your negativity? And I remember being like, oh, he's like, there's got to be something else in your life besides I'm tired. And so I never told the truth after that. So there are people in your life that are not telling you the truth. They're not telling you where they truly are. And right now, with all this crazy crap going on, I promise you, they're dealing with their own stuff. I'm thriving and I'm dealing with my own stuff. I love Jamie Lindbergh's post yesterday about how just everything is beating her down, how she kind of lost it, and that's me right now. Like, thank you, Jamie, for being transparent. Because for me, I I feel like I'm going through stuff because of COVID, right? Like, I'm in a place, I notice it now though, and I'm not letting myself go there. But I keep thinking, what if I weren't thriving? What if I didn't have that right now? Y'all, I don't want to think about that. So the reason I'm saying that, the reason I'm sharing my dirty laundry about how bad off I was and the things that are going on is because you have friends that deserve this product. You have friends that deserve to feel better. You also have friends that are stressing the heck out about their finances right now. Like, they're not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you they can't afford it because they're like, oh my gosh, I thought all this was over and I got the stimulus money, but now the stimulus money is out and now my job is cut and I don't know what to do. Or, all these people, I thought last night we went to dinner, there's like one server on the whole floor of this restaurant because, they don't know how busy they're going to be or not be. So they're not hiring 10 servers a night anymore. So those other 9 servers are out of a job right now or have their hours extremely cut. So there are people that need this in so many aspects. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about getting your passion back. Susan, your lips are moving. Are you asking me a question? Okay. All right. Let's go back to the passion, right? When you first started. Write that down. Write down really quick where were you when you started thriving? How did you feel? And how do you feel? When did you notice, right? That first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks in, when did you realize, oh my gosh, I love this new normal? And what was that for you? Write those things down. Now, are you still thriving correctly? Like, that keyword correctly is very important. Are you still taking all 3 steps every single morning? Are you doing it the right way? Are you forgetting part or this or that? Or, oh, I ate a donut before I took my capsules or, whatever, right? That's important. Check your temperature. What's your consistency every day? Get the product in your body. Y'all, that is always my number one thing. Get the product in your body. Take the product properly. Things happen. Things change when you're doing it the right way. But we are also human and we slack off and we start eating more snacks and crap and whatever. Or we forget to drink our shake or I drink it every day. But there are things that slowly can just happen and that's okay. But get back to that. Get back to where you started. Then, are you being consistent with where you started? Were you shouting from the rooftops, oh my gosh, these 3 steps, you got to get this in your body. You need these 3 steps. And have you kind of like become a little mouse because you see people posting on social media about, oh my gosh, these MLM people, all they want to do is talk about their MLM all day. Or, oh my gosh, if one more person has this miracle product, or if one more person, no, you need to just eat healthy and exercise. You know what? People told me that before Thrive, and I couldn't exercise. I couldn't eat healthy. I was like, come feed me them, come move my arms. Like I physically had no motivation to do so. So if these 3 steps work for me to give me the motivation to eat right, which they did, and to work out, which I sometimes did, like those are the things that I know help me. Those are things that I know prove those people wrong. There's always a negative Nelly. Gosh, there's so many right now on Facebook. But have you quieted yourself? Have you slacked back a little bit because you're scared of what people are going to say about you? We've all done it. I don't think Susan has. Because again, like I said, I said the other day, the big thing that I admire about her most is that she is so diligent and consistent, and she doesn't go, well, I'm only 1 account short of my goal, I'm going to go ahead and go to dinner. No, she figures out how to get that last account, like that's pretty awesome. So, but anyway, have you slacked in that because you're scared of what other people are going to say? Or have you let that negative voice get in your head of, oh, I saw so-and-so get shouted out yesterday, and they're just better than me, and they're a better leader than me, or they're better at free accounts than me. Y'all, I saw some PPAs the other day and some free accounts, and I was like, holy moly, like, dang, they're awesome. And for like 10 seconds, I let it get in my head, gosh, Amber, you suck. Your PPA sucks right now, and you're not as good as that person. And immediately I was like, I had a choice. Like I could go down that road and I could say, you're right. I suck. I'm not as good as so-and-so, and so-and-so's getting shouted out, and I'm not that person. Or I had a second choice, right? And that choice was, hold up. Start telling yourself truth. And Susan knows I'm very big about take captive of the lies, replace it with the truth. The truth is, I'm still passionate about this product. The truth is, I didn't get to where I am by sucking, like the truth is, I continue to share about this business. Did I slack a little bit? Did I let some things kind of hinder me? Yes. Okay. So what do we do about that? Well, we go back to day 1 and we get back to what was happening when I was more successful, or when I had more PPAs, or when I was actually getting more free accounts. What was I doing? I wasn't shutting up about Thrive, that's for sure. So I had to take myself back to that moment. And I really just encourage you to do that. I have a yapping dog that wants in, and it's driving me crazy. Anyway, but the thing is, only you're in control of you. So you have to decide, what am I going to do about it? Right? What did this do for you in the beginning? Why were you so ecstatic about it in the beginning? Why were you shouting it from the rooftops? Okay. Now, are you still shouting it from the rooftops? And if you are, great. Keep doing that. And then add in being consistent on your daily activity. Do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make sure you're keeping your list. Be organized. Follow up with people. Don't miss who you're following up with. All of those things. But if you're not still shouting it from the rooftops, then you got to check yourself, and you got to get back to, she's right. I need to get back to where I wasn't scared of other people. Because in all honesty, it's not about, a lot of people say, well, those people don't pay my bills. Well, this is true. Those people don't pay my bills, so I need to not worry about their opinion. But we are human, and it does happen, and that's okay. But the key is, you have to say, how important is it to me, right? Are you running after the business, or are you running after, my friend needs to feel better? My friend needs this. Because here's the thing, you can do both. You can lead with you can lead with, I need this in my friends' bodies. I need my friends to know how good I feel. I need my friends to have this, right? But you can also, hold on, this dog's killing me. Give me a second.
I told y'all she was going to have to do that.
Well, Dalton was supposed to let him back in. Anyway, that was just very distracting and I couldn't handle it anymore. So, all right. But you can lead with getting it in your friends' bodies, and you can also lead with building it business. Yes, you're going to earn income and make money, and yes, that supports your family. I personally believe that you have to do both. You cannot just be business driven. You can't just be all about the rank and the money, because what happens is you fall back. You know, people see it, people know it. Mitzi calls it commission breath. Like when somebody is just all about, I need this order, I need this order, I need this order, I need this order, I need this rank, I need this rank, I need this, I got to make this much money this month, da, 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 and it gets in a place where it pulls you down. But if you're leading with, I have people that deserve this product, I have people that deserve to feel better, I know people need to feel better, then you can then go with, oh my gosh, I'm this close to this rank because I've shared with 75 people how great that I feel, and now 50 of them are thriving with me, right? Like it all goes together. You have to incorporate the two. I'm going to take a breath. Susan, do you have any questions really quick? And I'm going to read these chats and then we'll pick up from there.
That's what I try to go through too, just in case.
I think I'm
I always want people to ask questions in here, because sometimes we tend to talk really fast. And then people are like, wait, what did she say? Hold on.
Yes. Well, and I'm really just talking about passion right now, so they probably don't have any questions about that.
Not so much. We're good.
But yeah, y'all let us know if you have questions, if there's just a topic on your heart, kind of drop it in the chat and we'll go back and forth. But okay, so I've talked about the passion, right? I've talked about, do you need to check yourself? Do you need to see, hey, Amber's right. I was at one point that passionate and I've let myself go back. Well, then you just do a self-assessment. I do self-assessments all the time. I talk about it a lot. You need to say, okay, what happened? Where did I go wrong? Where did I slow down? Where did I give up? Where did I start making excuses? I will tell you, hold on, my nose itches. Okay. I will wash my hands after this. Okay. I will tell you that one thing that I let get in my head at one point was excuses. Like when people come on board and they're all ready to go and this and that, and then all of a sudden they have excuses. And I'm like, I don't understand that, because I just didn't make excuses. I just ran with, oh my gosh, I need this much more. I need this many more people. Oh, I need this many more free accounts. Oh, my whole street isn't thriving yet. I got to get going. Oh, we moved. That street isn't thriving yet. I got to get going. You know, like those are just things that I tell myself over and over. And so when you have people that come in and then they make excuses, that's not on you. And it's not your job or your responsibility to overcome their excuses. But what you can do is just tell them, listen, I know that there are people out there that are mean. I know that there are people out there that are going to be negative when you first start thriving. But I also know that some of those same people that were negative when I first started are now thriving with me. I know that some of those people that were negative when I first started are now getting their dang car paid for. I know that some of those people that were negative when I first started have been on X amount of earned vacations with me. You know, like you just have to let people know. Like they don't know what they don't know. And all they know is their friend laughed at them because they started thriving. So now they have excuses of, oh, all my friends are mad at me, which isn't true. All my friends and family don't like me anymore, which isn't true. You know, all of those things. So when people come at you with excuses of why they're not growing their business, sometimes you just have to love them where they're at. Sometimes they'll come back. Sometimes they won't. And you just have to keep running with that passion, right? I will promise you that there are leaders in this business that we have gotten leaders that run and they're amazing and they like handle it all on their own, and that is awesome because they're just independent and proactive, and it's awesome. And then there are leaders that come in that they just give up. and there are leaders in this company, y'all, that do not, um, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, okay, let's perfect example. Let's say Maria Dillard. She is amazing. She has a lot of strong leaders direct to her, but not every single promoter that she signed up stayed a strong leader. And I think that sometimes in that comparison game, we think, oh my gosh, so and so got 30 free accounts. Well, then we tell ourselves, oh, they got 30 orders too. But that we don't know that that's true, right? And so you have to stop comparing yourself, because you have to remember that there's a difference in what your brain tells you and the truth. So, like, for example, let's say I haven't looked at my numbers in a bit. Let's say I have 200 promoters signed up direct to me. Okay. Like 15 of them are actually running with the business, right? So you have to remind yourself, because you probably think that I have 200 people that are running with the business. I don't. Like 15 maybe. So that's what I'm trying to say, is that comparison, when you start, you focus on the people that aren't doing stuff instead of focusing on the people that are. When you start comparison, right? When you start comparing your business to somebody else's business, or, oh my gosh, Jamie Lindbergh is so organized with that customer recipe box, like she has got it all together, like she's amazing and I'm not. Like, no, you can be proud of somebody else. You can think that they're awesome without letting yourself think that you're below them, or that you're worse, or that they've got it together and you don't. Oh, so and so got shouted out, that means that I suck because they got shouted out and I didn't. Like, that's not how this works. There are people that get shouted out one month and there are people get shouted out the next. And it's funny, Susan, I talk about this because there are some that, when you have strong leaders, Starless asked if I've been in her head. When you have strong leaders, you sometimes forget to like shout them out and stuff, because you're like, they're so awesome, they've got this. And like Chastity Marie is a perfect example of that, although she doesn't want me to shout her out, because I was like, hey, I need to shout you out. She's like, no, I don't need the shout out. I'm like, but I want to give it to you. Everybody's different, but I also don't shout her out as much as I probably should, because I know that she just does, right? She's just amazing. And she's got her team together. She's got her personal activity together. Like, she doesn't need that from me. And so, sometimes as a leader, you're like, oh, some people need it more than others. And some people, they just think we're so awesome, we don't need it. So it's totally fine. And you can't compare yourself when somebody else is getting something. And then sometimes you have to look at yourself and go, well, my one PPA really doesn't need to be shouted out right now anyway. There's times that you kind of get in your own way of, well, nobody shouted me out. I'm like, well, what'd you do? And guys, I'm talking to me. Like, we're all human. We're all normal. So I feel like I'm just preaching right now, but this is big for me. This is where I'm like, I feel like so many people are like me, and I'm in my own way so much that you need to hear that you're not the only one in your own way. You're not the only one self-sabotaging yourself, right? You have the ability to do your task every day. You have the ability to be consistent every day, to do your follow-ups every day. You have the ability to shut your brain down and get out of that attack of, oh, Susan's amazing and I suck. Like those things, like but we've all done it. So I want y'all to know that, right? Like, not everybody is perfect, and you don't know everybody's what they're going through. Just like there's, famous people out there that everybody thought had perfect marriage and now they're divorced. Nobody knows what anybody else is truly going through. And right now it's a rough rough time out there. I thought we were, looking good out there in America, and then all of a sudden everything went crazy again. But that is not going to determine my temperature, right? Like I've got to just reel it in, get it back together, because I kind of lost it yesterday. Like I was like, everything's so unknown. I don't know what to do. So I kind of had that moment. And I think poor Jason, he looked at me like, I don't know what to do with you right now. Because I just had to have my moment. And that kind of gets us back together. So I'm going to look at the chat real quick. Let's see. I love that, Jamie. There's enough sunshine for everyone. Starlight, yes, I've been straight into your head. Yeah, see, we all get in our own way, in our own heads. Training, somebody wants a training on overcoming objections. Okay, listen, I'm going to tell you straight up. Overcoming objections, I believe there is one answer for that. And that one answer is connection. You have to connect them with somebody else. That's a three-way call or a three-way chat. If there are objections, you immediately connect them with somebody else. The answer is, I don't know about that, but let me tell you, my friend Susan has an amazing story that I would love for you to hear. Like I'm telling you, objections, the answer is three-way call. Some people are doing three-way chats, whatever, but the answer is connecting with someone else, because they need to hear somebody else's story. Because they could hear my story all day long and they don't relate to me. But if they hear Susan's single mom working 50 hours a week story, that might relate to them, right? Sometimes they can hear my exact story from somebody else, but they just need to hear it from somebody else. That's huge. Is I used to say when we kind of started this, that your kids and your husband, while they love you, they don't always believe you, right? Like, they don't believe you right off the bat. They have to hear it 75 times. And then they hear it from somebody else, like a neighbor. And all of a sudden it's hallelujah, truth be. And you're like, wait, I said that. But it's the same thing. So that answer of objections, I'm always going to say connect with someone else. Let them hear somebody else's story. Just ask yourself, like, what are you doing or not doing that you were doing when you were seeing more success? If that's your case, right? Were you seeing more people come on board? Were you getting more free accounts? Were you getting more orders? Were you helping more people get to VIP 800? What were you doing then? Are you holding yourself back now because everybody has an opinion? I don't know if it's just because we're in this industry now for, I'm going on a little over 6.5 years. But I see so much in my Facebook now of other network marketers and leaders, and do this, don't do this, and go to this event and go to that, and listen to so-and-so and do. Y'all, there's always going to be a lot of people. They're always going to say different things. Like, think of it in something different, like health and wellness, nutrition. There are going to be so many people that tell you to do this lifestyle, diet, whatever. And then there's going to be others that say, don't do that. That's horrible. Do this lifestyle, this diet. No, you have to do this many sit-ups. No, sit-ups don't work if you don't do this. No, do this, do that. It's the same thing in our business. There is noise everywhere. You just have to know, listen, I want to get better where I'm at. I want to do better. So you have to say, okay, how do I do that? And I will tell you, you look at the leaders that are in this company, because they know this product, they know this company, they know this compensation plan, right? Look at the leaders in this business in Lavelle that are successful. Are they doing the things you want? Are they getting the free accounts? Are they having the PPA that you want? Are they earning the trips? Lord, bring back the trips. Are they doing the things that you want? I think our biggest thing when we started was we listened to people that were more successful than us. I was on that phone as often as I could be. I was listening to Maria Dillard. I was listening to Paul Gravett, Chris Collins, I don't know who else, Mike Page, like all in the very beginning, Sheila Fasoni, like those were the leaders that were already where I wanted to be. And I was listening to them. I was taking notes from them. Yes, success leaves clues. Like that was what I was doing. And I cannot preach it enough. Don't look outside of your company. You know, like if you need like a life coach, that's totally different. You can get a life coach. Like if you're in a place where you're like, I'm in my head, I need a life coach, get a life coach. But when it comes to this business, don't look at some other network marketer that probably isn't even growing in their business anymore, right? Like I think that's something, and I just wanted to say that for a second because I feel like we see that a lot now that we're in this industry. Facebook puts those people in our feed a lot, like all these gurus and trainers and whatever. Guys, you have what's capable. You have what you need to be successful and to be accomplished. You just have to do it. You don't have to pay somebody else to teach you to do it. You have it all right here and you just have to do it. So first, I'm almost done. Let's just go back, recap. First, check your temperature. Do a self-assessment. Are you taking your Thrive every day? Are you doing it properly? Maybe you need to like lay off the COVID snacks, like maybe there's a little something extra. I'm saying I'm right there with you. That walk to that pantry, it's right there. If you're eating out of boredom, it happens, So anyway, self-assess, check your temperature. Where are you at? Did you quiet yourself at some point? Yes, Ultra, Lena. Ultra will help with the COVID snacking. But did you quiet yourself? Are you as excited about this as you were? And if you're not as excited, what dampened your excitement? What is it Billy says? If you're not excited, your wood must be wet. Like if you're not on fire, like your wood and your fire. Susan, your face just cracked me up. No, it took me a long time to understand what he meant. But it's like, if you're not excited where you're at in this business, in this company, something put out your fire. Figure out what. Reassess. Get started over. You can start over anytime in your life. You can start over with anything. Start over here. You have the product that at one point you were on fire for. You have the business and the leaders that at one point you were on fire for. You believed in 100%, right? So get back to that. Then, okay, now we've got to be consistent with the daily activities. Get on these lunch and learns. We have how many more days left of these, Susan? 7, 6, 5? Whatever. Anyway, so for the rest of this week, for sure, and next week, we have these lunch and learns every day from amazing 200K leaders, millionaire leaders. Like it's amazing. You also have leaders in your own organization that do things every week. There are Susan Kaufman puts her Monday morning motivation call, 7:15 every morning. She has that call. It's open to everybody, to the entire company. Kayla Fox has all these power hours, and there are other leaders. You can find a leader. There are YouTubes that leaders have. There's training videos in our cloud office. Those new training videos are amazing, by the way. If you haven't watched those yet, you better get started because they're awesome. And remember that there's VIP training in there as well, VIP 800 training. Put that out to your new people. There's so much at your fingertips, and things have upped their game in our cloud office, with those training videos and things that we didn't have in the beginning. Go watch those. You can get all the education that you need, and then you've got to go apply it. That's it. Go put it to work. Go share with as many people as you can, because you know why? Because my neighbor does not need to be crying in her closet at night. My neighbor who said, man, I wish I didn't eat that donut yesterday. Girl, I can help you, right? Like there's so much at your fingertips that you need to just go and help those people. So, Susan, I think that's where I'm 5 minutes over. Sorry.
You're fine.
But
I'm looking at this chat.
look at the chats and see how we want to wrap this up. Because I could go squirrel. But I think the biggest thing is you're in a new month, guys, a brand new month. Did you write down your goals yesterday? Do you have a plan for the month coming up? This weekend, listen, I don't know what's going on 4th of July weekend anymore. I don't know where people are hanging out or not hanging out, but at some point you can reach out to people. You can do it via Zoom, you can FaceTime, you can call them, you can chat them, you can text them, you can just Facebook them, whatever. Find people, find your people, see how they're doing, check in on them. Like just to check in on them. Like, there's so much that you can do versus just throwing out some posts. You can reach out and check in, and then that helps with your goals. Are you doing your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 every week? Okay.
Did you answer the question of what are your 3 top IPA activities? What are your 3 top IPA activities?
Well, I do my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah,
like
that's
that,
5.
I mean, like, I think that is okay. So I will say too is like Natasha talks about finding new leads and new people to create relationships with. That y'all, that's in your stories. Like if you haven't looked in your stories, there every day archived is the list of all the people that saw your stories, who's viewing your stories. Like you can't always see who all sees your Facebook post if they're, not liking it or whatever. But those stories, you can see who saw your stories. So you can use that as a list and just start checking in on them, right? Like go look at their Facebook. Are they posting? You can start commenting on their posts, and then that starts putting them in your feed. And then you see them, get all the thrivers out of your feed. We love you. We love you thrivers, but you're already thriving. Like, we need to be looking outside of that in Facebook. If all you're doing is commenting and liking other thrivers' posts, because let's face it, we like their posts. You can actually start seeing people and their posts about, oh my gosh, I'm on my 5th cup of coffee. OMG, these last 10 pounds. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm not sleeping at night. Does anybody have anything to help somebody sleep at night? Like you're going to start seeing those people's posts if you're interacting with those people more often. So, but yeah, it is. It's just the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, doing that on the daily.
Sally, yes, all the videos, we're recording all of these. They're being put onto a YouTube, so you don't have to go through Zoom to look at them, but all of them have been being posted under the actual announcement of the speaker that day. They're in the event that Natasha created. They are also in Team Thrive Nation. Most of these speakers are getting the video and also putting them in their team pages. So you should be able to find them one place or another.
Somewhere.
Yeah. Maybe overloaded.
All right.
Okay. There we go. I think that answered all questions. Until tomorrow.
Yay! Bye, y'all.